What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 6 of Zoo Gone Quarantined. Wow, we've been doing this a long time. Today we changed our set though, okay? Today we are actually in the home country of Ramona, and we are here at the midweek campus on our beautiful playground. And we didn't realize how big of a factor flies would be in our video shoot. So if you see us smacking ourselves in the faces or freaking out, it's probably because the fly just flew up our nose. With that being said, here's our special guest of the day, Matt. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Gordy.
Yeah, no problem. You are just probably the biggest guest we've had so far. Don't let any of the other guests hear that, but we are just so honored to have
I saw
on
in
the
the
show.
videos in the comments I was being requested like
You were,
crazy.
yeah. So many people were requesting Matt. It was ridiculous. We're like, we have to get him on. Super hard to schedule him though. He's a very popular guy.
Very busy.
Matt, last week we started with a new segment called This Week in TikTok. We're gonna do it again. As I was scrolling through my TikTok feed this week, I found this really cool video with all these guys who are in this like super cool group. It was like Meet the Boys or whatever. And I would just like everybody to see this super cool video. So check out The Boys. See it right here. Wow. See, I watched that video and I got really jealous. Number one, I don't know how they're hanging out in quarantine. Not fair. Super jealous. Two, they're pretty amazing fishermen, is what I got out of that. 3, if I try to make that video, I would have no friends to make it with, So shout out to whoever those guys were in that video. I was like, man, let me see if I can put together a group of guys and see if I can come anywhere close to what I just watched. So this was our attempt, meet my boys. There you have it. 2 very solid videos. Lots of things to be critiqued about both of them. Who caught the bigger fish? Which one looked more natural? Overall, which group of boys, is probably just better looking? That's probably a big question that we should ask. But overall, let us know which video is better. Roll the intro. There we have it. Welcome to the episode. Like I said, this is Matt. He's our guest today. Matt, why don't you introduce yourself to the people? Tell them how long you've been helping out at the zoo for and what you do at the zoo.
Okay, I've been helping out at the zoo for just under a year now. We're coming up on it. You approached me last summer and asked me if I'd be interested. And I remember you said it'd have to be like an end of summer thing. And I'm a boys small group leader, and I lead 6th grade boys.
6th grade boys, yeah.
I'm learning that 6th grade boys aren't as bad as I remember them to be.
Aw, that was adorable.
They're still pretty bad,
Shout out to you, 6th grade boys. That's fantastic. Cool. Yeah, leads the 6th grade boys group. We're going to have your 1-year anniversary party at the end of the summer. It's definitely not a thing, but it could be. So what have you been doing in quarantine? I know everybody that we've talked to kind of has different methods of how they've been keeping themselves busy. What has been your strategy on dealing with quarantine?
I got a job. Picked up a job actually surprisingly through this. I'm working like 20 to 30 hours a week through that. And then when I'm not working, I'm super tired. So I sleep, play games, and procrastinate on homework.
Heck yeah.
Got quite a few online classes that I haven't done anything for, so yeah, that's my quarantine life.
Has there been anything in quarantine that you've spent way too much time doing that you are not necessarily the most proud of admitting?
I'm trying to grow a mustache.
Hey, what? That is something you should be
I should be
extremely
proud of, but it's coming in super gross and super weird, and everybody's telling me to shave it.
No, don't shave.
I'm charging along.
Yeah, guys,
Looking
tell
to
Matt
a
if he
long
should
run.
shave his mustache or not. We want to know. This is a very big topic that we should probably decide over this video. I've been growing a quarantine beard. I don't know if you guys like that or not. It's pretty fun if you watch all these videos and you watch me from the start, having no facial hair, to now. My goal is to look as terrible as possible when quarantine's over. I want you to be able to recognize me. But mustache, that is a valid answer. I support that fully. Okay. What we've changed this question up. Normally it's 3 words to describe yourself. Today I changed up the answer. Or the question. If you had 3 words to describe junior hires, how would you describe them in 3 words?
I don't know if the junior hires are gonna like me after this.
That's fine. It's kind of the point.
They're hyper,
Valid.
gross,
Also valid.
sticky. Why are they sticky?
Sticky. Wow,
I think
that
we
is.
give them too much
You
candy.
know, I don't think I would ever have thought of sticky as a word to describe them, but it's also the most
Fits.
true thing that I've heard. So if you're watching, you are hyper, gross, and sticky. Sorry, it's just the facts. All right. Now, if junior hires had 3 words to describe themselves, how do you think they would describe themselves? How do junior hires see themselves?
I feel like cool would be high up on the list.
Yep.
They'd probably say they're funny.
Yep.
I guess not annoying, even though it's 2 words. They'd probably try and say that one, try and fly that one under the radar.
Basically, the reverse of everything you said is what they think they are.
Yeah.
Wow. There you have it. Sorry, guys. That was brutal honesty. All right, but maybe he's speaking some truths about you that you need to listen to. Okay, like don't be sticky. I don't know what you do about that, but don't be sticky. The moral of this whole video. All right, on to some serious stuff, Matt. Like as we start, I think if you guys have been watching these videos, the coolest part for me is just getting to see each small group leader, each leader who, other than Alex and I, normally don't get up on stage and give messages and give sermons. And maybe if you're in their small group, you get a good opportunity to hear their story and get to know them. But for the most part, you guys see these leaders every single Tuesday, every Sunday, and you interact with them, you play games with them, you have fun with them. But not often do you get to see the side of them that's like, oh, this is why they do ministry, this is why they're a Christian, this is what they've learned. And the coolest part about these is, we ask a lot of the same questions each week, and we get such different answers because everybody has a different story. So for you, Matt, what is your personal Christian walk look like? When did it start? How long have you been a Christian? And then when did that actually become a real commitment of yours, of where you were like, oh, this is my faith. I've decided to make my life about Jesus.
So, a lot like the other leaders and stuff, I was born into a Christian family. We'd go to church every Sunday and that stuff, or at least that's how it was during my early childhood. I was also born into a military family. My dad was in the Navy, and that led us to move around quite a bit as I was growing up, and it seemed like every time we moved, we'd start going to church less and less and less. And through that, I started to, as a kid, then I guess not understand what being a Christian is. And then we moved when I was in 5th grade, about halfway, or towards the end of 5th grade, we moved from Nebraska out to Tierra Santa here in San Diego County. And from that point on, didn't go back to church for years. I went through junior high kind of calling myself a Christian, but being, I guess, even less than a Sunday Christian, because we wouldn't go at all. So I was a Christian by name, and name only. My actions, how I lived, how I thought, how I did things, weren't anything like they are now, anything like they were supposed to be for me to call myself a Christian. Had some pretty bad stuff happen to me throughout junior high, and just in terms of the way I was treated and the way I treated other people. And I didn't know it at the time, but that stuff planted a deep seed in my head. Moved up here to Ramona for high school. Started going to MVA. and just slowly through the years started feeling like angry at life and sad with things. And my junior year of high school, actually, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And it was bad enough to the point where I had serious thoughts about taking my own life. Like, I thought there was nothing, absolutely nothing to live for. And I was searching for things. I was searching for love. I was searching for community, friends, family, and stuff in the world and in people and in all the wrong places. And I remember specifically there was a day that I was at school. I was having a rougher day. And during the free period just before lunch, the very wonderful Joshua Fela invited me to Collide. He said that he could get me a ride. I talked to him later about it, and he said that it was just because he thought I was a cool person, thought I'd be cool to hang out with. But I remember it so specifically, and I didn't know that at that point that would be like the start of such an amazing change. That first night at Collide, I didn't really participate in anything. I was one of the cool kids, standing in the back during worship, my arms crossed. I wasn't singing. I thought I was top dog because of that. And just somewhere through like seeing the community and stuff, for whatever reason, I came back the next week, and I talked the worship. I spoke the words. I didn't sing. I opened up a little more, but just slowly through that, God started chipping away at my heart until he finally broke it and broke through and just completely changed everything. I remember the stuff that I was searching for in the world and the people all had answers through the Bible, all had answers through God, all had answers through Jesus. So I didn't need to search for those things in people, because people are broken. And if you search for too long, eventually you're going to find bits and pieces, but you're not going to find anything as close to the wholeness as you can find of it through God. And so, there's still bad days. It hasn't like dramatically, or it's dramatically changed me, but it hasn't like full on cured the depression. There's still bad days, but they nowhere near as bad as it used to be, because I know, like, hey, I've got something better to look forward to. I know that I'm loved. I know that I'm wanted. I know that I have a community and friends and family who all deeply care about me. And it's been about 3-4 years now, because that was junior year of high school, and I'm a sophomore in college now, so it's been about 4 years now. I was baptized in the summer of 2018 by Pastor Thomas Moore in Arizona, and that's a moment that I will remember for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. That's super cool. I think what really a great part of what you just said is you said, I was searching for things, and I realized, everything I was searching for could be found in Jesus. Do you have like a couple of examples of what you might mean by like I was searching for something? Like 1 or 2 examples of something that you were searching for that you realized could be met with Christ?
The biggest thing was I wanted to be wanted by people. And this is one of those things that was rooted back in junior high. I had my group of friends just abandon me at one point, and for a month, I was eating lunch alone every day. And so I guess that started like this feeling of loneliness, and I wanted to have people, and I wanted people to want me. And so, obviously through God, he leaves the 99 for us. He comes running to us with open arms when we return home. So it's obvious that he wants us. He wants to love us, and that he'll never abandon us, and he's always there for us. Mm-hmm. So that was the big thing. And then just love. I wanted to feel love. Yeah. Felt like I couldn't find love anywhere. Like, obviously my family loved me, but, at the time, I wasn't in the right headspace to understand that. Obviously my friends loved me, but still I didn't have the headspace. And, again, he left the 99 for us. Yeah. So that shows amazing love.
Yeah. It's awesome. I think that's a perfect answer too. Not only did you describe what you were searching for, but you also described why Christ can fulfill that searching, and how I know we've talked about it in our Uncommon series, but now you're hearing it from somebody who went through it personally, and just this idea of how I think every person in their own way searches for love, or wanting to be wanted and desired. And some people are lucky to have that in life, and other people aren't as lucky. And I'm sure many of you watching this have felt that way before, and just this understanding of, like Matt said, the world's idea of love is broken, and it's not the perfect type of love you're going to get, even in the best relationships with people who you might go, they love me a ton. There's going to be moments where that love is not perfect, and the love of Jesus is, and there's no stopping Jesus. Like Matt said, he will keep searching, he will keep pursuing you. He will do whatever he can. He died on the cross to get you back, to show you that love. So that was a fantastic answer, and I think super important thing for hopefully you guys to understand. Matt, part of what you said was, and I don't know, share what you want to share. You talked about having depression and anxiety, and for you, how did that affect, I guess in two parts, how did it affect your view before you found Christ in the church? How did that affect your view of the church? And also, how did that affect you on a daily basis?
So I didn't really have a view of the church at that time because it had been so long. I went to church, I guess, once within that time span of first moving back into California to when Josh invited me. And the only reason I went was because my, at the time, girlfriend was going with her parents, and she invited me. So I went for the wrong reasons, because I wanted to hang out with her. So I didn't pay attention. I don't even remember what the message was. Yeah. I just remember getting to sit next to her and being like 14 and being like, oh, this is the best. But so I didn't really have a view of the church then, so I don't.
Right.
But my day-to-day was horrible. I put on a mask every day. I feel like there's a lot of people who I went to school with that still don't know my story and still don't know that that's what I struggled with. And even if they knew I struggled with it a bit, they don't know how bad it got.
Yeah.
Because every day I was putting on a mask and I was going out and pretending to be happy and stuff. But there were some days where it was a fight to even get out of bed in the morning, just because I didn't want to go through it anymore.
Yeah.
There were nights where I lay there and I didn't understand it until then. I always remember people saying they hurt, and I didn't fully understand it, but there were nights where I laid there and I had a physical, deep down pain just in my chest, in my core. And so the day-to-day, and there were some days that were better, there were some days that were worse, and I wasn't doing well in school at the time. Part of it is because of that, part of it's because I don't like school, but then I get yelled at by my parents because I'm not doing well in school, and they take stuff away from me, and it just make the problems worse. So day-to-day was almost like a living hell, I guess, for lack of a better description. I mean, I know hell's much worse than that, but that's what my life was at that time.
Yeah. So I don't think depression and anxiety and stuff is very easily talked about, because it's a very difficult thing, and I think many people don't want to talk about that side of their life and confront those types of things, or they don't even know how to talk about it. But I'm sure there's many people and students that are watching that have experienced it and are struggling with those types of things. So for you, as somebody that has been through it and probably still working through parts of it, what advice would you give to somebody who is maybe just starting going through it, or has been for a while, that's trying to figure out how to find that hope and get past it in life?
You're not weak to talk to someone. That was one of my biggest things. I thought would be weak. I thought I'd be laughed at. I thought I'd be made fun of if I just talked to someone. And even talking just about like the way I was feeling helped me out so much. Like it didn't relieve all the stress or all the pain or anything, but it brought so much of a burden off me because I knew that somebody else knew, and it wasn't something that I was just carrying.
Yeah.
Even if you just talk to God about it, he's been the one to hear the most from me when I'm going through stuff. As soon as I realize I'm starting to get back into that mindset and those thoughts start coming back, I go, hey God, take this burden from me if you're willing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm struggling through, you know how I've struggled in the past. I don't want to go back to that. I want to keep glorifying you. I want to keep moving forward. So my advice would be to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
It's not wrong to talk to somebody. You're not weak because you talk to somebody. It's not a joking thing. I bottled it up for so many years, and it comes back to bite you.
Yeah.
It ruined relationships with friends and family members because I bottled it up, and then it exploded and I lashed out at them.
Yeah.
So talk as soon as you can. Talk to whoever you can. Just talk about it.
Yeah. Some fantastic advice. What about on the reverse side of that? For people that maybe know somebody that's going through this, or have a friend or family member that doesn't necessarily understand what it's like themselves, but knows somebody going through it. What was maybe like something that somebody did that helped the most, or how would you advise somebody to maybe help somebody going through this?
Check up on them quite a bit. I know some of the best texts I got were just from friends at random times, just being like, hey, how's it going? How's life? But don't pry, because at the end of the day, it has to be their decision to talk. And if you keep digging, if they say they're fine and like you know they're not fine, you keep saying, oh, well, you're lying, just talk to me, it's going to make things worse.
Yeah.
So just let it be known to them that you're there for them.
Yeah.
You're there if they need to talk. You're there to be open, a shoulder, whatever they need. You're there to even just offer them prayer. I know some of the best texts I get still as I'm struggling through stuff is when somebody texts me and they just say, hey, I'm praying for you.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's great advice. Yeah, because I think a lot of us are also in that position where, you know somebody, and it doesn't even have to be on a topic of necessarily the same stuff that Matt went through, but we know people that are going through things and experiencing difficulties, and oftentimes the best way to figure out how to help somebody is to figure out from somebody who has gone through it, what was the best thing that people did for me when I was struggling. So I think that's great advice for sure. Anything else on that type of thing before we move on, or have you
I feel like I've said all that I need to say on the matter.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that.
God and stuff, that all helps a lot. It still helps to this day.
For sure. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, because it's definitely not an easy thing to talk about or share, but I think is very helpful for a lot of people for sure to hear. What do you think, when you think of junior high and your time in junior high, maybe what was your biggest misunderstanding about Christianity when you were in junior high?
I feel like my biggest misunderstanding through junior high is one that a lot of people have outside of junior high and even on to this day, of like being a full Christian is, this is what I miss out on life. I don't get to do this. I don't get to cuss with my friends. I can't go partying. I can't look at this. I can't do that. And that's such a dumb thing to look at, because in response, I guess, reaction, like what you get because of it completely outweighs that stuff. Like, it's to the point now where I look at that stuff and I go, why was I like that? Like, that stuff doesn't even seem fun to me anymore.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's super cool. What about for junior hires now? Maybe through your interactions in small groups, at the zoo, whatever. What do you think is something that, based off of your time, your experience in junior high, advice that you would give them based off of what you've learned or what you see them going through?
Have a good group of friends.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of good groups of friends, a lot of people who are friends at the zoo. Hold those friends close. If you have friends who maybe don't come to the zoo, try and get them to come to the zoo. Have like a good friendship, because those friendships turn honestly into families as you grow older. Like I mentioned it once, I consider Josh to be like a brother to me. Even my small group leader through high school, I consider him to be a brother to me.
Yeah.
Just because of the relationships and the connections and stuff there. And that was stuff that I didn't have going through junior high.
Yeah.
And I really wish I had.
That's awesome. Last question on the serious side. For somebody that hasn't made that commitment to Christ yet, or is on the outside looking in and has mixed feelings on what Christianity is and what it's all about, what is like one or two things maybe that you would start the conversation off with them of going, hey, look, this is why it has changed my life, this is why it's been worth it to me. What might be a couple of those things? Obviously there's probably a lot, but what are the main ones for you?
I guess I feel like a lot of people nowadays are searching for things, just as I was. Whether it's they're looking to get famous through Instagram, or I guess TikTok now is the big one.
That's what I'm doing.
Or
TikTok famous, guys.
So there's a desire, I guess, that's growing in people, and it's this need to be known. And I follow this clothing brand, and they have a line of stuff that says famous enough, and it's basically just like saying that since God knows me, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all I need to. So just know that you're known by God, you're loved by God, regardless of whether you choose to walk down the path or not. You are known, you are loved wholly by God.
Yeah, it's awesome. Said it perfectly. No need to say any more on that. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for sharing. And if that helped you guys or brought up things that you guys want to talk about or need to discuss, as I've said in basically every video, and we'll say again, even though we can't meet face to face right now, hopefully soon, we are always here. Your leaders are always here to talk and discuss about anything that you need, and hope you guys know that, and we are always here. Okay, speed questions.
All right.
Time to prepare. This is probably the most important part of the whole segment. All right, these answers make or break you as a person, so just get ready. Okay. So it's the zombie apocalypse. All right. And you have to choose a weapon. Okay, the only weapon you get, so make sure it's good. Your sidekick. All right, they can be real, fictional, whatever. And the location that you are either going to hide at, if you're going to like bunker down and don't want to be found by zombies, or you're just going to make your final stand, all right, and fight. What is that weapon, your sidekick, and the location?
Okay.
Go.
The weapon would be an axe, because I don't have to worry about it jamming or reloading.
I love
can
it.
Chop trees.
Smart.
A sidekick would be my cat, because even though he's a jerk, I love him.
Never mind, Matt's dead. He just chose a cat as a side, not even a cool cat, just a normal cat. Sorry, continue.
Think about it this way. If I chose like somebody else, I'd have to like get food. I can get cat food and he's fine. Like I'd need to like do all this stuff. Regardless, hideout would be my house, because I already know it and I got cool stuff in there.
All right, fair enough. Cool. I accept 2 of those 3 answers. The cat one.
You don't think that my house is a good hideout?
You're right. I accept 1 of your 3 answers. Okay. What is an unpopular opinion of yours that most people would disagree with? Probably cat as a sidekick, but other than that.
TikTok is a bad app. That's my unpopular opinion. I don't like TikTok.
Darn, you just made every kid shut off this video. Wow. That is an unpopular opinion, especially in the junior high world. Okay. I appreciate you for sharing that one, though. A fact about you that very few people know.
I have fangs.
What?
My canine teeth are really long and pointed, so I have legit fangs.
Whoa. that's why he chose his cat. You know, they're like the same. They're twins, actually. Cool. All right. Here's the question that has been in every episode that changes every time. And at this point, it's so confusing that I'm going to have to explain it a little bit. So it's you versus 50 angry toddlers.
No, I know
right?
this one. I've done a lot of thinking about this
Yeah,
one,
but
actually, before you brought it up.
I needed to explain to
Okay.
the audience the
All
question,
right.
okay? I'm glad that you have your answer ready, though. Okay, Matt versus 50 angry toddlers, all right? But Matt is armed with a magical bubble blower. You know, when you have bubbles as a kid and you like blow them? Yeah, he's got a magical one. And if he hits the toddlers with the bubbles, they enclose the toddler and the toddler floats away, all right? Pretty cool, I know, all right? But the toddlers have the head of a toddler and the body of a stray cat. And here's the reason why I say stray cat, okay? Because stray cats are way scarier than normal cats. Stray cats, like, if they touch you, you get fleas and a disease probably, and their claws haven't been trimmed. And, like, getting cut by a cat claw is probably one of the most painful things in the world. So, yeah, answer that question.
So, see, you changed it, because I thought it was just, like, me versus them straight mic. I feel like I could
Of course
take
I
that
changed
one
it. It's
easier.
changed every week.
Yeah, I feel like I could do that one easier. Because, I mean, have you ever blown bubbles at a toddler? What do? They always go for them to poke them.
Oh, that's
So
a
I don't
good
even
point.
need to hit them. I just need to blow them in the direction and let them do the work for me.
That's true, that's true.
So
But what if but there's 50 of them. Are you going to be able to blow bubbles that quick?
I can back up as I'm doing it. I could probably back up
They have a
faster.
body of a cat. They're going to be quick, dude.
All right. And can I kick them?
Sure.
Then yeah, I can do it.
All right, okay, all right. He is betting on himself,
yeah.
folks. I like it. All right. What is the most embarrassing moment in your life
Gosh.
that you can talk about?
So this one goes back to 5th grade.
I
And
feel like
it was-
everybody's embarrassing moment comes around 5th grade.
This was it was a 5th grade dance, and it was like the last dance of the year.
Perfect.
And I had heard from one of her friends that my crush was going to ask me to dance with her when the slow dance song came on. And I remember I'm standing at the back of the dance floor. I'd been dancing with my friends, having a good time, and the slow song came on. And I remember seeing through the crowd, it's like her, and there's this line of guys there who are asking her to dance, and she goes down the line and she points to them and she's like, no, no, no. And then she looks through the crowd at me.
This is your
and
moment, dude.
I turn beet red and I turn around and run out of the dance floor.
No! Wow, I just imagine that whole thing is like a movie scene of like, you know, the slow motion music, and it's like, you're getting sweaty, you're getting ready for your moment to shine. Dang. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I was cheering for you in that story. I really was.
I was cheering for me too.
I was
I
hoping
don't
it
know
was
what
gonna
happened.
be a trick story and have a happy ending.
Well, you asked for an embarrassing moment. You
I
didn't
know.
ask for a happy.
I know, but then I got
happy
too
story.
invested in your story. All right, I wanted it to work out. Oh well, maybe next time when you're in 5th grade at a dance. Well, there you have it. I think we'll end on the embarrassing story because that was just a great story, and now I'm sad for Matt and his 5th grade crush. But thank you for joining this episode of Zoo Gone Quarantined. Don't go away, though. We have a very, very special game planned that might be the worst punishment involved of any game we've played so far, so you're really not going to want to miss that. So thank you, Matt, for sharing, and thank you also for volunteering to suffer in the game that is coming up next, which I still haven't told him what he's doing, so yeah, get ready.
Boy.
Here we go. Alright everyone, welcome to the game. Like I said before, Matt has no idea what we are playing. All I told him was this game was called Wheel of Doom. Actually, a more accurate name for this game is called Wheel of Waxing. Because what we're going to do right now is we are going to, I have a wheel on my laptop, which you'll see on the screen, hopefully. And we're going to spin it. And on this wheel, there are, I believe, 7 things that it could land on. One says arm, one says leg, one says thigh, one says double, and then 3 say pass. So what's going to happen is when it lands on one of these, I have some beautiful wax strips right here. Okay, we're going to bust one out, and we are going to just simply wax whatever location it tells us to, okay? So if it's leg, yep, there goes the hair on your leg. If it's your thigh, a little more sensitive, there goes the hair on your thigh. If it's your arm, easy, get rid of that arm. If it's double, it's both your leg and arm, okay? And then if it's past, you lucked out, goes to the next person. It's that simple, okay? And you're just gonna watch us suffer a little bit, all right? Matt, how do you feel now?
Can I put in my 2 weeks resignation?
Yep, but after this video is filmed, so sorry. I'm not gonna take 2 weeks to film this video. All right, here we go. Matt, since you're the guest on this show, it's only fair to let you go first. Here's the wheel. All you need to do is you press spacebar to spin it, and then you press spacebar again to stop it, okay? All right, and we're back. Sorry for, we had technical difficulties with our wheel because it's such a high-tech device on this computer. All right, here we go. Matt, spin that wheel.
All right.
Double, double, double. It's currently spinning, folks. Currently spinning. Go ahead and hit the spacebar when you want to stop.
What if I don't want it to stop?
Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. No. No! Oh, no! Double! Woohoo! Oh, I thought I was going to go pass. Folks, he got the double. All right. You're lucky, though. They didn't have the big strips at the store last night, okay? They're just little tiny ones, all right? So, in reality, who cares, you know? So,
Gosh.
starting the arm. And 3, 2, 1. Oh. It's so clean! Show the camera your arm.
Oh my god.
Yeah!
Oh, you were the worst, Gordy. Oh!
Yeah! Woo!
Oh my god.
All right, my turn. Spinning. Give me something good. Give me something good. Pass, 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 pass. No! Dang it! Ah, it's leg. Get it on the real good. You know, it's not as scary until it sticks on you, and then it becomes real that there's no way you're gonna get it off. And a ah! It even warned me. It just went for it. That was brutal. Ooh.
You see it a bit there.
It's fun. I know my hair's so blonde, but wow, so smooth.
Well, that can't be any grosser than the random chewed gum.
Double again. Double again.
Wait, it doesn't get rid of them.
Nope. Yeah! It looks like he gets another spot taken off the leg. No, we should probably do the other leg now. You know, you need a
Balance
spot
it out.
off both of them. All right, there's, you know what's the best way to do this? To go really slow.
No. Oh.
I'm just kidding. That'd be me.
Actually, I think going slow doesn't pull them off.
I'm glad that we have two people with hairy legs for this action. It'd be great if I got a pass right now, wouldn't it? How excited?
No, I don't
would you
think.
be?
I don't think that'd be too good.
I think you'd be pretty excited.
Oh no, the wind's gonna blow all of our hair away.
Oh yeah. No, stop. No!
I'm happy double didn't go
Ah,
on.
I was so close. I got a double. Here goes the beard. Guys, would you just take a nice long look at it though first. I worked really hard on this beard. My quarantine beard is going strong. Kind of sad to see though, but it's worth it.
How's that first one?
Oh, dang it.
Right up and down like that. Across the chin.
Ah!
Hopefully this actually pulls hair off. Oh, as I'm sticking this on, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry, Gordy. Count of 3, okay? 3.
Ah! There you have it, folks. Thanks for joining us for Zugon Quarantine episode 6, and getting to see us lose some body hair today. Matt, Gordy, signing out. See you next time. I'm gonna go ice my face.